Skill is a barrier to entry from Aurora. Yeah, I agree. In this case, it certainly is, and I do not mind that in the slightest. Again, I definitely enjoy when Yoshi games have the guts to be difficult. Because, you know, Nintendo, they've kind of made Yoshi into a game for toddlers. Though I do have a point to make on that, but later. However, it's very self-evident that there is an audience that would like to see more difficult Yoshi games. It's clear that that's the case. Just based on the fact that this ROM hack exists. You know, like, there's people who make these games to be more challenging. Take the hint, Nintendo. We want Yoshi to be more widely appealing to a wider demographic. We don't want it to just be aimed at 5 to 10-year-olds. That's not how it used to be. I blame Yoshi's story, I really do. Though, it didn't really get cemented until Yoshi's New Island, so maybe I should blame Yoshi's New Island. Because Yoshi's Island DS was the most difficult Yoshi game, in my humble opinion. And that came after Yoshi's Story. So I guess Yoshi's Story didn't completely ruin it, but I don't know. Wow. I don't know. I appreciate harder stuff. I appreciate harder Yoshi games. Hey there all! Kinda late to the party, aren't I? How's the stream going? Better late than never, Brain Pick. Welcome. Yoshi is the least consistently good Nintendo franchise, says Aurora. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that there's certainly contenders. But yeah. The Yoshi series is up there for sure. I want to say Firefox, that's a browser, Jeff. I want to say that Star Fox is a contender as well. But yeah, the fact that Yoshi is up there in terms of least good Nintendo IPs when it's a Mario adjacent IP, that's horrendous. Truly horrendous. Embarrassing, you could say. I like the Yoshi games, and it pains me to see the current state of the Yoshi games, really. Truly it does. Because I think the Yoshi series can be so much more, and should be so much more. And it's not just because I love Yoshi. I just think that the other Mario spin-off series, I should say Mario adjacent series of games, like the side series, the Luigi's Mansions, the Wario Lands, even Princess Peach, they're all much more respected than the Yoshi games. Like, it's almost universal that people love Yoshi's Island. Almost universal. There's not a middle ring. But again, like, the Yoshi games really should be much more than they are. And I'm thinking specifically, like, I think about, you know, the Wario games, I think about the Luigi's Mansion games, I think about even the Peach games. Like, they all get much more respect than the Yoshi games do. Like, most people agree that Yoshi's Island is a very, very good game. Several will claim that it is one of the best video games of all time. It often appears in top 100 video games lists. But the only other game in the series that even gets some respect is Yoshi's Woolly World, and deservedly so. Like, I think Yoshi's Woolly World is great. But why is that the only one that anybody respects? It's not people's fault, I'll say that. Nintendo has done a very poor job with the Yoshi series. Save for a few games. Like I said, Yoshi's Island, fantastic, universally praised, basically. Yoshi's Woolly World, kind of the same way. Like, not quite, but a lot of people love Yoshi's Woolly World, and many of you actually prefer Yoshi's Woolly World over Yoshi's Island. And it's a respectable opinion. I can respect that. I don't share it, but there it is. Bro is gonna run for president for Yoshi Operations. I've never seen the game over screen. Never ever. That's fun. Too many games that tried to run with the aesthetics of Yoshi's Story, says Aurora. Yeah, that's part of the reason I was kind of saying earlier that I blame Yoshi's Story. Because I think that Nintendo kind of missed the point. Missed the point on that one. Like, they wanted... Oh my gosh. Where do I even go with this? The point of the art style in Yoshi's Island was just to be unique. To be something that was different, got people talking. And to be not Donkey Kong Country. I feel like Miyamoto basically just did that despite the investors. And that's fair. But anyway, it looks like the backgrounds look like they were colored by a child, right? It looks like a coloring book. But that's the thing. Yoshi's Island does not take place in a coloring book. But they ran with that in Yoshi's Story. Fine, like one game where that happens, fine. I guess that's fair. Yoshi's Island DS came around after, well, Yoshi Topsy-Turvy was next, actually. Yoshi Topsy-Turvy came next, and what do you know? Storybook time again. Yoshi's Island got turned into a storybook again! And it's a different premise this time. Hooray, hooroo, hurrah. However, that ended up setting a dangerous precedent. And, you know, Yoshi's Island DS, Yoshi's New Island, these are the only Yoshi games that, you know, feel like they could canonically take place in the Mario universe, as opposed to being a one-off sort of like, you know, fun adventure that takes place in La La Land or Craft World or whatever. Nintendo and subsequent game oh, I'm sorry, Gila, yes, I will still be live in 30 minutes. Nintendo and the subsequent developers of the Yoshi games learned the wrong lessons from Yoshi's Story. And I'd argue Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island wasn't popular because it looks like a coloring book. It's popular because it's a good game. And it's universally appealing, I would argue. Maybe not universally appealing, but pretty much as close as you can get to it. Like, this game can be enjoyed by several different demographics of gamers. Children can blast through the level and, like, you know, they'll get a decent challenge out of it, but it's not, like, overwhelming. I say as I'm playing a very difficult ROM hack. But, you know, children can play the game and have a good time. The average gamer can play it, and, like, the skill floor is relatively low. But, you know, the skill ceiling is quite high. You can get good at the game and get some very real satisfaction from playing the game and just interacting with its mechanics. It's a lot of fun for anyone. And then, of course, you've got the completionists covered. The people who strive for 100%. I mean, it's baked into the cake. Like, it's one of those things where it's one of the main features of a Yoshi game. Is that completion is definitely a focus. That's why Yoshi was appealing. Well, that's like the main reason that Yoshi's Island was appealing. It's not because of the graphics. Although, like, the graphics are incredibly pleasant, that's not the reason Yoshi's Island is good. And Yoshi's Story started that trend where the Yoshi games became all about the graphic style. Except for Yoshi's Island DS and Yoshi's New Island, which, again, those are like the... If there ever was a lore to Mario, those are the ones that would best represent the Yoshi series. The ones that would just straight up represent... Oh, you're supposed to wait for the blocks to go away. Okay, I thought I was supposed to duck under them. Okay, thank you. Like, in terms of lore and everything, the Yoshi's Island trilogy are the only ones that actually matter in the Yoshi games series. The rest are kind of just all about their aesthetics, and that is it's a crime, I think. Again, they learned the wrong lessons from Yoshi's Island and from Yoshi's story. And unfortunately, that's really gotten the series into a rut. One that I would love to see the series recover from, but I'm not confident that it ever will. I'm hopeful that it will, but I'm not gonna bank on it. I'm not gonna, like, hold my breath waiting for it. And someday, I will make a video on what I think the next Yoshi game should be like, or at least a new Yoshi game. It doesn't have to be the next one, but a new Yoshi game. I have some ideas that I think would get the series out of the rut that it's in and bring it more back more into the mainstream appeal of gamers. Like, the kind of game that you would see on a Walmart shelf and be like, ooh, that looks interesting, I'll buy it. Not, oh, little Timmy, who's 4.5 years old, wants a new game to play, I'll pick this cute Yoshi game, I'm sure he'll love it. I'm tired of Yoshi being that game. I'm tired of the Yoshi series being that series of games. I don't know that I should care that much. Like, it's a video game. But I do care. I care very much. More than I should. And again, I just want Yoshi to come back into the mainstream focus. To appeal to everyone again. Not just the 5 to 10-year-olds. I'm very tired of that.